Hey YouTube foodies, today on She Cooks It All, we are going to make this delicious burnt red velvet cake. This is one of my favorite and I hope it will be yours too. Easy to cook, everything will be listed down below. So before we cook, let's start prepping all our ingredients. So we're going to butter and flour our burnt cake. Make sure you butter it well. We don't want our cake to stuck inside, guys. Just like so, once nice and ready, set aside. We are going to start prepping our dry ingredients. So I have flour, cacao powder, salt, baking powder, baking soda. We are going to whisk this, and I like to whisk and then sieve my dry ingredient. I know I do the most, but I just don't want lump in there. So if you can, just whisk and sieve it, or whichever rock your boat, guys. Okay, once that is ready, set aside. Let's prep our wet ingredient. So we have room temperature butter, unsalted butter. I just added in oil. We're gonna follow with sugar, and then we are using two type of sugar. This is brown sugar, and it's, trust me, it is important. It's bringing that caramelized flavor. You're gonna love it. So we are going to whisk this on a low heat speed now until it starts coming together. Then we are going to increase our speed and whisk this on high speed. In between, we are going to be stopping and scraping the bottom of the pan just to make sure everything is well mixing together, guys. Okay, so whisk this on a high speed for about 8 to 10 minutes, or until you get a nice and fluffy texture and the sugary grain have disappeared and it looking just like this. It's nice and pale and just so fluffy, and that is it. When you get to this stage, it is ready. Check this out. After that, again, we are just going to give the bottom again another scrap just to make sure nothing is missing on the action down there. Okay, after this, we are gonna continue whisking on high speed and adding our eggs one at a time, and give it like 30 seconds in between each addition. So you add in your egg, whisk 30 seconds, and add in the next until you finish adding in all 3 eggs. Everything, all the ingredient measurement, they are listed in the description, so check that out. So our egg has incorporated well, our butter is looking nice and airy and fluffy. It's a perfect base for our cake, guys. Again, give your pan a good scrape just to make sure nothing is missing on this action, and then we are going to continue. We are still on a high speed. I'm now adding in vanilla, white vinegar, and keep on mixing this on high speed. We are creating all that nice and beautiful air inside, and then we are going to add in our coloring. Make sure you use gel and a good quality to get a good quality red velvet, guys. Okay, so I like to add it in now instead of after we add in the flour, because we don't want to over mix the dough later. So add it in now. We are still mixing it on high speed so it will kind of really mix in well, because sometimes color can sit at the bottom. Okay, once it's nice and mixing well, we are now going to start adding in our buttermilk, another perfect ingredient for this cake. Buttermilk, and then our dry ingredients. So we are going to do this in 3 steps. We add the buttermilk, and then we add in the dry ingredient. We mix this for like 30 seconds. Then again, buttermilk, dry ingredient, in 3 stages. Don't add them at once. And at this stage, we have reduced our speed to medium to low. Do not do this at high. Okay, buttermilk, flour, buttermilk, flour, 3 stages, just like that. And once we finish adding in the flour, we are going to stop this again for the last time and give this the bottom of our pan a good mix, just to make sure there is no flour sitting at the bottom. As you can see, you're gonna have this flour there if you're using this kind of first hand mixer. So make sure you give your pan a good mix. We are trying to avoid overbeating this. Okay, give the bottom of the pan a good mix. After, we are going to go in, continue mixing this on very high speed for 30 seconds, not more, guys. You don't want to over mix this. Just 30 seconds and we are good to go. Our oven is preheated already at 160. Again, read the description so that you are ready for this step. Oven preheated in 160, and I'm using a fan assisted oven, so adjust accordingly. Add your butter into your prepared pan, and then we are going to smooth the top and give this a shake, and then tap just to make sure all the air is out and nothing is trapped in there, so that we have nice and close crumb. Okay, tap and shake. That will remove all the air bubble in there. Place in the preheated oven and bake for about 45 to 50 minutes, or until a toothpick inside comes out clean, just like so. Remove from the oven and allow it to cool for about 10 to 15 minutes in the pan. After that, we are going to now place the cake on a wire rack to cool completely before we glaze it. Okay, do not glaze this when it's still hot, guys. Allow it to cool. Check this out, so soft, guys. This is one of the best red velvet you'll ever make. Okay, let's make the glazing. So we have our cream cheese, icing sugar, and then we are going to add in double cream, like a teaspoon at a time or a tablespoon at a time, and you're going to go according to how thick or runny you like your cream cheese frosting. I like mine a little bit runny, just like so. Whisk it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's well incorporated and it looks like this, and then spread it on your cake. For the life of me, I cannot really decorate a cake, but this cake doesn't really need much. Just slap on that icing or that cream cheese frosting, and your cake is ready, guys. Okay, just do your best to make it look presentable. That's all, really. The cake itself is just delicious, trust me. Nobody will realize you're not good at decorating. Okay, so here's the piece of the cake. This is one of my favorite, guys. I hope you'll give it a go. Don't forget to check the description for all the measurement and everything else. And if you have watched until this time, thank you so much.